Congressman Chuck Fleischmann represents Chattanooga, where a shooting occurred at an armed forces recruiting station in 2015. He joins us now. Congressman, thanks for being here. 5 died in that attack, also tragic, but also tied, we believe, to somebody who was inspired.
Clearly, the Chattanooga attack was terrorism. It was an American citizen who was radicalized and caused tremendous harm in my hometown of Chattanooga. It was horrible. My thoughts and prayers go out, of course, today to Orlando, to Florida, but this is a sad day for all of America. This shows the need, Bret, for us to combat head-on ISIS. We have got to defeat radical Islamic terrorism right here in the United States, and as you know, I have a bill that does that.
Well, let's just talk about that briefly. I mean, obviously the focus about ISIS has been taking the fight to ISIS fighters in Iraq and Syria and all over. Your bill deals with fighting here at home. Explain that.
Absolutely. For too long, these radical Islamic terrorists have tried to inspire Americans. 250 Americans applied to their propaganda to go and be jihadists. We've got to stop that right here within our borders. We're doing a good job on foreign soil. The State Department combats terrorism and beats these radical Islamists on their own turf over there. But in this country, there's a great deficiency. The propaganda that is spewed by these radical Islamists is reaching American citizens. We've seen it today. We saw it in Chattanooga. It's got to be stopped. What my bill does, plain and simple, it directs Homeland Security to basically use testimonials from former radical Islamic terrorists who have become disaffected. So when the Islamic terrorists try to reach American citizens, these people will stand up and say, ISIS is bad, ISIS is intolerable, and you shouldn't join it. It's been too long. This is an important tool in the fight against ISIS. It passed the House with overwhelming majorities, 322 to 79. It should have been unanimous. But we're hoping that the Senate picks it up soon. We've got indications that the White House will sign this bill.
And your hope is that by doing that, it is another tool in the arsenal that the U.S. government uses against ISIS.
Absolutely, well stated. We have got to commit our resources as Americans to fight and combat radical Islamic terrorism. We cannot allow this to happen like it did in Chattanooga, like it's happening in San Bernardino, like it happened in Orlando. This cannot be allowed in America.
Last thing, Congressman, when you hear, authorities kind of cautious about the semantics here and very cautious about whether it's a hate crime or whether this guy was inspired by or directed by ISIS, what goes through your mind?
It outrages me. The actions and the rhetoric of ISIL and these Islamic terrorists is outrageous. They're hurting and killing Americans. Do away with the euphemisms. The American people deserve straight talk. We've got to take the fight right to ISIS, and we've got to beat them here. We've got to beat them abroad. It's time to be correct, not politically correct.
Okay, Congressman, thank you for your time.
Bret,